good morning, everybody. I'm Rob Evans. Welcome to Daybreak Plus. We're breaking down all the news you may have missed overnight, and then we're digging deep into what matters to you. And of course, keeping the power on is super important to all of us. And the Electric Reliability Council of Texas, ERCOT, expects demand to peak at 84,000 megawatts this Wednesday. The weather's going to be hot. Now, last May, we set a record of 77,000 megawatts. This is much higher. According to the power grid manager, 1 megawatt powers, well, about 250 homes. But energy expert Doug Lewin says that we could even threaten to break the all-time peak demand of a little more than 85,500 megawatts. That was set in August of 2023. He and other experts have said that two different things have made a difference in the state power supply: solar energy and battery storage systems. And the author of the Texas Energy and Power newsletter is tracking several bills making their way through legislation. Some are called anti-energy, is what he calls them, and said they could create energy emergencies. For instance, Senate Bill 715 would require all renewable projects to buy backup power, mainly from gas or coal plants. The Texas Association of Business did a study and found the bill would cost the state more than $5 billion more a year and cost the customers $225 more each. Here's Doug Lewin.
It all flows downhill. It will all get passed on to consumers. So that $5 billion, you'll pay it, right? I mean, every residential and small commercial consumer, and the big companies will find ways. Their bills will go up too, but their bills will go up less than yours because they have sophisticated energy buyers, and they'll work the system. You'll get stuck with the bill.
Now, Lewin says while people may be willing to pay that extra money for a more reliable grid, the study also showed we would have an increased likelihood of outages. So you pay more for a less reliable grid. Lewin also talked about several other energy bills that he's in favor of. You can watch the full conversation right now on KVUE.com. And because it's going to be so hot out there, Austin's Homeless Strategy Office sent out texts to more than 3,500 people to remind them about their options during this dangerous heat. They say library branches and parks and rec centers can all be used as cooling centers during normal operating hours. Anybody can stop on by to cool off. More on the weather in a minute, but for now we continue to monitor the future of Austin ISD's middle schools. Webb Middle School, one of 3 at risk of a state takeover. Last night that school was packed with teachers, with parents and students asking why so many changes had to be made. The TEA gave Webb Middle School an F accountability rating for the last few years. So to keep the school from being taken over, the district is doing what it calls a restart. Per TEA rules, only certified teachers can come back. They must also have at least 2 years of experience. Now, one teacher who's been invited back says she has been teaching at Webb for 6 years.
I know that the rest of my team will not be coming back. I feel that I am betraying my family.
Now, another TEA requirement calls for the principal to have experience restarting a school. Many staff and students made it clear, though, they're not happy about their principal being replaced. The district plans to submit their plan to TEA June the 12th. And it's crunch time for the Texas House. Any bills that have not had a second reading on the House floor by Thursday are effectively dead for this session. Right now, state lawmakers are working on a plan that would give a 2-year grace period to any school ordered to submit a turnaround plan this school year. But the main purpose of House Bill 4 is to replace the STAR test. KVUE's Adam Bennett is at the Texas Capitol with more.
For more than a decade, the state has relied mostly on STAR test results to grade schools, but many parents and teachers say that those scores don't show the entire picture of how these schools are serving students. And they also say that they don't cover all of the material that these students should be learning. House Bill 4 would replace the end of the year STAR tests with 3 shorter tests throughout the year. One at the start of the year, one in the middle, and one at the end. State Representative Brad Buckley is HB 4's author. The Republican from Salado says he hopes to better prepare students for college. He took questions from lawmakers, and minutes before the approval of the bill, the initial approval, laid out the ways he believes this will help.
This bill takes away the stress and the anxiety of one test, one day. It provides assessments that are instructionally relevant and they're actionable for our teachers. And this bill does not water down accountability. It provides for smarter accountability.
If passed, most of these changes, including the replacement of the STAR test, would take effect this fall. The bill still needs one more vote in the House before it moves to the Senate. Reporting from the state capitol, Adam Bennett, KVUE News.
All right, Adam, thank you much. It is a 7:06. Let's get a look at traffic and weather with the KC and Hannah.
Yeah, good morning. We are heading into our early season heat wave that all kicks off today. This morning, we've been fairly comfortable, 50s, 60s. Look at that sun, though, now up over the horizon, and that's what's going to be warming things up quickly for today. Temperatures right now still not too bad, actually pretty seasonable as we start this Tuesday morning. 63 at the Austin airport, 64 for Camp Mabry. But we've got low dew points, dry air. We're comfortable right now, but it's that dry air that really heats up quickly, especially when you pair it with a southwesterly wind, which we're going to see today. First heat advisory of the season here across much of the KVUE viewing area. That starts at 1 p.m. this afternoon as we start to reach those temperatures. It'll already, for many of us, be at 100 degrees by 1 p.m. today. And then continues through 9 p.m. tomorrow for temperatures. It'll be as hot as 110 degrees. Let's talk about our heat risk potential, because this is something that we're going to be monitoring not just today, but certainly into tomorrow, Thursday, and likely even into the end of the week, as the heat's going to just stick around here for the next several days. Today, we're looking at a moderate heat risk potential. That means those that are a part of those sensitive groups really need to monitor this. And then by tomorrow, we start to see more of a major heat risk potential be included across the area. That means those that don't have adequate heating, or excuse me, adequate cooling, I should say, or adequate water going to be impacted by this heat. You can see it's as high as extreme down towards portions of the Rio Grande Valley. So some big time heat building here across the Lone Star State. We're going to be looking at our hottest temperature here locally on Wednesday, 105 degrees. The hottest May day that we've had on record was 104 degrees for Austin back in 1925. So right now we are forecast to break that tomorrow. All across the board, we are breaking records each and every day for those daily high records, including today, tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday, as I'm still expecting those triple-digit temperatures to linger even as we head into the weekend. This heat, it's really not going to be going anywhere anytime soon. Even as we head into next week, while I do think we're going to be losing the triple digits, we're still going to stay very close to that, with highs remaining in the middle and upper 80s for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, where more records likely, I think, at least through Monday. It's really not until next weekend that we could start to see some changes with some improvements in both the rainfall department and our temperature department. But right now we are locked in with this very hot forecast. Currently dry. We will not see much rain at all here for the next week. Few passing high clouds as we take you into this afternoon. Notice that wind direction back into the south and eventually southwest. That's what's going to help those temperatures soar by this afternoon. Taking a look across the area, here are your highs today. Hill country, you're going to be hottest here for the stretch of hot days. That's where you'll see the driest of the air. Again, easiest to heat up, the drier air. So 107 for your forecast high for Llano today, 103 for San Marcos, upper 60s from Cameron to Giddings out towards LaGrange. Tomorrow even hotter as we reach the peak of the heat. 105 for Austin. Temperatures could be again approaching 110 degrees out towards the hill country. I would think we have a solid chance of seeing those heat advisories being upgraded to an excessive heat warning across parts of the hill country for tomorrow, because we will be meeting that criteria most likely. And then all across the I-35 corridor, those triple digits back with us. Thursday, less of us in the triple digits. We won't be quite as hot as Wednesday, but still very hot. Many of us reaching at or above 100 degrees yet again. And that continues through Friday. More records being broken Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I think potentially even into Monday. We could still be tying records into next week. Rain chances, maybe a stray shower Saturday or Sunday, but overall we remain dry.
Woof, look at some of those temperatures, y'all. We got to hang on tight, and we got a long stretch of this heat coming in. It is 7:10. Let's get you fixed up on the roads as we are heading out on this Tuesday morning. Here's a live look at Mopac at Schofield Ridge Parkway. You can see we've got a nice flow of traffic there, just minor slowdowns on that frontage road right now, but not too bad there. You can see we definitely have a couple hiccups here. Got some car trouble coming in from South Austin right here, working on the northbound lanes of I-35 coming in from Buda right there at FM 1327. 7. We also still have a crash on Riverside causing some slowdowns in the westbound lanes on Riverside as you're approaching I-35 this morning, and that is at Parker Drive. So Parker Lane, heads up for you there. Aside from that, we also still have this mess working in Moore's Crossing east of the South Austin Terminal. This is on FM 973 at Elroy Road. So heads up for you there. And then taking a look across the area, we got a couple new things popping up. Looks like we have a developing situation here in the West Campus area off of Pearl Street. So keeping my eye on that for you. And then we also, let's see if we can move our way up here. Taking a look, Round Rock, we still have some slowdowns for y'all. And then Buda, that stalled vehicle, it does not take much to really slow things down at 19 miles per hour. Coming in from Oak Hill or Dripping Springs, also seeing some slowdowns there, the eastbound lanes. That is at 27 miles per hour if you are getting on 290 from Oak Hill to the Austin area. And then Manor, we have been seeing some stop and go for y'all as well in those westbound lanes pretty much all morning at this point. So stay cool, guys, and take care of each other this week as that dangerous heat creeps in across the area.
Yeah, the one word you said there, wolf. That's a good way to describe the weather. And speaking of wolves, or fox at least, the city of San Marcos is warning people about rabies. 4 people reported fox attacks along the Purgatory Creek Natural Trail. Now, Riley Bach says he and his mother, Renita, were taking a walk on Riffius Trail Sunday night. 15 minutes in, he says a fox came sprinting toward his mom, attacking her legs. Bach says they fought off the fox 2 separate times till it ran away, leaving behind scratches on both of their legs.
And a lot more people got a lot more hurt than we did. We got a couple of scrapes. We're lucky compared to most.
But we fought. I don't know if the other people fought.
Some people.
I don't know what I would have done if he had been there. He really is my hero. Mother's Day.
He's not getting grounded again, right? He's her hero. The Bachs were treated for rabies, and so were 2 others who were attacked. The city says animal protection officers are searching for that fox. If they don't find it, they're going to assume that it has rabies. He said while the trails are still open to the public, you should avoid the Beatrice, Dante, and Riffius trails until the investigation is complete. Now to a topic that some parents find uncomfortable, talking to your kids about money. Experts say it can be helpful to have the conversation sooner than later, maybe earlier than you think. Here's ABC's Christiane Cordero with some tips.
The financial world is becoming increasingly complicated, and experts emphasize teaching kids about money is crucial before they reach adulthood.
The key for parents is to make learning about money fun, because that way kids feel like they want to talk to you about it and they don't just shut off when it feels like you're trying to teach them a lesson.
NerdWallet's Kimberly Palmer advises parents or guardians to begin discussions when kids start asking for things, around 2 or 3, and explain the difference between needs and wants. Get them involved, whether it's asking them to help compare prices at the grocery store or discuss ideas to save for a vacation. An allowance can also be beneficial.
Starting an allowance can also start relatively young. So as young as 1st grade, 2nd grade. In general, a good rule of thumb is to give a child $1 for every year old they are.
It gives them the independence to make mistakes.
For example, buying something that they later regret and think, oh, maybe next time I'll think ahead or think twice before making a big purchase. It's okay to let them make those mistakes. And in fact, it can be helpful because then they're less likely to make bigger mistakes later on.
And don't be afraid to get creative.
So you might have a piggy bank, for example, that you can see every day. Slowly, you're building up more money into it. Some kids like even drawing a chart. So say they have a savings goal of $20 because that's how much the toy they really want costs. You can show visually on a chart that they can see posted in the kitchen how they are slowly growing that savings until they reach the goal of $20.
Lastly, experts advise to keep an open mind and be flexible as each child learns differently. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
Some good advice there. Well, Consumer Reports just released its exclusive annual sunscreen rating, putting more than 100 products to the test. The results reveal surprising differences in protection, even among the sunscreens from the same brand. Here's Dave Fazekas.
Whether you're headed to the beach or working in your garden, sunscreen is essential. But Consumer Reports' latest tests of over 100 sunscreens reveal surprising gaps in how they actually protect you from the sun's cancer-causing rays.
We found major performance differences among sunscreens, even those that came from the same brand. And in some cases in CR's tests, the protection offered didn't match the SPF that's listed on the label.
Experts recommend using sunscreen with at least SPF 30. But it's not just about the number. For full protection, you need one that's labeled broad spectrum. That means it shields your skin against both UVA and UVB rays.
UVB rays primarily cause sunburn. UVA rays contribute to premature skin aging. Both types contribute to the risk of skin cancer, which remains the most common kind of cancer in the United States.
To evaluate SPF, the measure of how well a sunscreen shields against UVB rays in water-resistant sunscreens, testers apply sunscreen to small sections of panelist spacks. After a soak in a tub for either 40 or 80 minutes, depending on the product's water resistance claim, those areas are exposed to simulated sunlight. The next day, trained experts carefully examine the skin for signs of redness. The testing for non-water resistant sunscreens involves the same steps except for water immersion. For UVA protection, sunscreen is applied to plastic plates, which are then exposed to UV light. Instruments measure how much of the harmful rays are absorbed, giving a clear picture of how well the product protects. This year, Coppertone Water Babies Lotion SPF 50 stood out among lotions, earning high marks in both UVA protection and SPF performance. And if you prefer a spray, Eucerin Advanced Hydration Spray SPF 50 came out on top.
Even the best sunscreen can underperform if you don't apply it correctly, or you don't reapply it every 2 hours or immediately after swimming or sweating heavily.
CR recommends using about a shot glass full for your entire body in a bathing suit. For spray sunscreens, spray until your skin glistens, then rub it in. This is David Fazekas.
And a reminder, you should be using sunscreen all year round, not just during the summer months, especially in your face and other areas not covered by your clothing. Well, a woman in North Texas posted a TikTok video after her car caught fire. Have you seen this? The only thing that survived was a cup from Paris Hilton's brand. In the video, she jokingly asked Hilton for a new car. Adriana de Alba shows us how this post went viral and got a lot more than just attention from Paris Hilton.
That's the traumatizing part.
The smell of smoke still lingers.
So seeing this kind of brings back that trauma for you.
Yes.
When Bibiana Gonzalez's tire blew out, smoke billowed.
Slowly got darker and darker.
Then flames.
Everything literally burning.
The car she worked so hard for totaled.
I was just like, why me, Lord?
But not everything burned.
And I was just like, my purple cup.
A purple Paris Hilton cup, still in mint condition. All the 24-year-old could do next was film this video and laugh to avoid crying.
Everyone who knows Paris knows that one of her iconic lines is, "That's hot."
Paris, you want to know something that's hot? My car just caught on fire and your cup survived. Can you please buy me a new car?
The video quickly went viral with millions of views.
Never did I imagine it would go where it went. To me, it was a joke.
Then Paris Hilton caught wind of what happened.
Paris has a surprise she's working on, something special, something amongst, that.
What did you think it could be? No idea?
I said, maybe she's going to bring me another cup.
Little did she know.
Hey guys, I'm on my way to Dallas right now.
Like a flashbulb fantasy, the Queen of Y2K made her surprise entrance.
She looked like a literal angel.
They talked, bonding over Bibiana's work with the disabled community.
I see the Carvana truck pull in, and the car is on top with the big pink bow. Balloons are flying out the window.
The rest was a blur.
Oh my God!
But my body, it went into instant shock.
A brand new car from her idol.
It felt like a dream.
A real life fairy tale with her new fairy godmother. And a new car isn't all Bibi received.
I felt like she gave me hope.
Hope, knowing sometimes even hardship can lead to blessings. In Dallas, I'm Adriana de Alba.
I love seeing that. Good to see it. Paris using her celebrity for good right there. And we leave this morning with something to talk about. A rodeo stunt in Fort Worth took a wild turn. A Texas rapper got hit by a bull. Look at this. Look at this right here. Oh my goodness. Artist That Mexican OT was a guest coach at the rodeo. I'm watching. Was a guest coach of the rodeo in Fort Worth's Cowtown Coliseum. Video shows him narrowly avoiding 2 brutal hits, but on the 3rd try there, he was not as lucky. Yikes, he got tossed into the air. Now, thankfully, he did walk away, somehow was okay. PBR captured this video on social media, quote, "That Mexican OT is bucking insane." My goodness. All right, that's it for Daybreak Plus. Let us know what you would like to talk about. Message us at 512-459-9442, 512-459-9442. You can also message me on social media at Rob Evans TV, on Instagram, on Facebook, on X. And stick around because Daybreak continues right here on KVUE Plus. Goodbye, everybody.